Hey everybody, my name's Allison Ostrander and I am the Director of Risk Tolerance here at Simpler Trading. And in today's video, I'm going to talk about a setup that I have actually been eyeing across multiple charts throughout this bearish turn down in year that we've had. And it is a great setup that you can look to potentially take to short a symbol, whether you want to do it with call credit spreads or whether you want to be a bit more directional in a long put or in a put debit broken wing butterfly or something like that. The reason why I think this is an important setup to talk about is because it could be potentially starting to set up here on the indexes. For those of you who don't know my Twitter, it is Allison underscore trades on Twitter. But the reason why I bring this up is because this is a setup that I have pinned to my Twitter account and one that I talked about back in August as different setups approach. And we could be starting to see a setup here now. So let me actually pull this up here from the original thread. And just like I talked about in August, this is a setup I've been talking about all year here at Simpler. And then we'll go back to the main charts and we'll walk through where these have been as well as where they could be starting to set up in the future. So SPX, right, you can see here just with the text and everything else I mentioned, that sometimes when you start to go into a bearish trend like this, and by trend I usually refer to the moving averages. So these gold lines on my chart are the moving averages. The short dashed one is the 10, the longer dash one is the 30, and the solid line is the 100. So when you have them in what I like to call a stack down formation, where the smallest increment is at the bottom and then it works its way up to the longest, that is technically a bearish trend. And when the price starts to trade below the 100 and the simple moving averages go into a bearish trend, it can start to create a potential setup on retracements and bounces that clue us in as traders to potentially short. So what is that setup, Allison? Well, let's talk about it here like it mentions in the picture. When the underlying price starts to trend, notice the moving averages trend below the 100, and then the underlying price gets a little bit of strength and it tries to break above the 100 like it did here, right? It broke above that level, but then it stalled. When it fails, sometimes it fails and it goes straight down. But every now and then, you'll see it fail and then go back to test the 100 again. And it's on this retest where if it cannot break back above the 100 once more, it is usually a good place to short, especially when you have a bearish divergent bar that is created on top of that. For those of you who don't know, divergent bars are one of the indicators that I personally like to use. It's one that I had Eric create for me. And a bearish divergent bar, whenever it prints like it did here and back here, is usually a clue that the underlying price will either move down to that low or follow through with a lower low within the next 3 bars, depending on the time frame it prints on. So in the case of the daily chart, I usually give it 3 days to see if it can't follow through with some sort of lower low. Now, sometimes, right, it's just a quick follow through and that's it. But other times like this, it can be the start for a downtrend. So we actually had a bearish divergent bar here. This was a great entry, the second one. Notice the first one did follow through at that lower low, but then you printed another bearish divergent bar, and that, of course, stair-step down. So great quick trade to follow through. But you can see that this was a failure to break above the 100 when it attempted to prior. And when it can't break above that level, it usually is the start for a bearish trend lower. And it's a trap for the bulls. So you can see SPX had that set up here, and then it worked its way back down. And mind you, these were screenshots I took back in August. So we'll go through the main chart and show how it's worked out again. But that was on SPX. There was another one here on Amazon where the price was trending below the 100 with the moving averages. We attempted to go back above it and break it. We were not able to hold that though, and so we broke back below the 100, turned it back into resistance. We attempted it a second time, but once again, notice the price was not able to break and hold above the 100-period simple. And so this was your clue, if you missed it back here, to look at shorting for a bearish trend. And certainly you had the bearish move prior to earnings, and which I totally get if you didn't want to hold through that, right? You never know with that certainty on an earnings announcement. But you had the initial move down going into earnings, and then it certainly followed through after that gap down for a continuation of the trend. You also had a setup like that in CMG, where CMG trended below the 100. It attempted to break above that level. It failed. It tried to retest. It got close here. Really, it failed at the 10, but then there was that bearish trend to the downside. Here was Tesla. Tesla as well was in a bearish trend with the moving averages, had a bounce up, attempted to break and hold above the 100, a bit stronger of a bounce compared to some of these, but ultimately this too failed. We went back to test it as resistance, and when we couldn't even break above the 100-period simple, that is a clue to short, and then there was the trend to the downside. On Apple, here was Apple, right? Now this one barely turned into a bearish trend, but it technically did with the moving averages. The 10 was below the 30 at one point, and both were below the 100. So I understand if you didn't quite catch this one. I don't think I took this one myself either, but the setup still applied where we technically went into a bearish trend. We attempted to break above it. We failed. On the second retest, the intraday price tried to break above the 100, but the open and close of this bar held that level as resistance. It made a bearish divergent bar, and so that was a great clue to look at shorting, and you got that for the trend to the downside. So more recently, and by more recently I mean back in August, Google actually made a similar setup. So for anyone who was following along with my Twitter at that time, maybe this was trade entries that you took. Google had a similar setup where it trended below the 100, popped up, couldn't hold it, had a second retest here and failed. So maybe you caught that entry. I know we played this one to the downside a few times in the Profit Recycling Mastery. And then there was also one in ISRG at the time that was similar, where this has been trending below the 100. It attempted to break and hold above that level, failed, had a retest, made a bearish divergent bar off that retest. Great potential entry to short. So let's see how those ended up working out, right? Like I said, it was a chart pattern I've talked about all year. So we can see on Google, this is where I mentioned that entry. Notice the bearish trend that followed through. Even if you didn't hold through earnings, you had definitely moved lower from that entry point. If you did hold through earnings, we had a nice 27-point move lower. And even with the bounce up that we're currently experiencing, we're certainly still below that level at this point. On ISRG, which was another one I talked about. Here it was. This one right here, so there was the initial break. It did trend lower for a little bit, had a second retest, which when it failed that level as resistance, that gave you a second re-entry. It was actually higher than the first re-entry. So if you held on, for a longer term put, you might have had to sit through a little bit of pain if you didn't take profit on the initial push. But either way, if you held both of those prior to the earnings, we ended up seeing basically a 41-point move down, 31 points from the original entry, and it made for a nice move lower. And then on earnings, right, that unexpected move around earnings, you always want to be cautious about. In the case of ISRG, it was the catalyst to finally have us break above the 100, and now it's starting to try and go into that bullish trend. So once again, why do I bring up this setup? Well, because the market is actually attempting to break the 100-period simple once more, right? This was the initial setup I talked about in that tweet. We actually had a second chance of that in August when it tried to break here. It failed. Here, it did a little bit more of a stronger retest, but still failed again. And then ultimately, even if you jumped in here off this retest, or you had to sit through a little pain and then jumped in here, both of those, if you held through, right, if you had a longer expiration to be able to do so, it saw new lows for the year, ultimately. And so now we're breaking back above this level on CPI, and the question is it actually going to hold and maintain? Or do we start to maybe fail here at 4,000 and consolidate and give it back? Now keep in mind, it might just be a short break like we saw here or back here. It could also be a bit longer of a break where it actually attempts to go back into a bullish trend. So please, keep in mind, ultimately it's going to depend on how the market moves from here. But if we do start to give it back up and break, it could be that it's just a straight break to the downside, right? That's always possible. But if it breaks, goes back to retest and fails, especially when it's a clean fail like this where we don't even break above the 100 again, that is your clue to potentially short. The best thing about this setup is if you're really conservative about your capital, which I totally understand, technically, any sort of break back above the 100 cancels out the trade idea. So the fact that we're getting in off a failure of the 100 means our stop isn't ideally that far away unless it's like a really big drop, right? Then it's not that far away to cancel it out if you're concerned. And at the same time, a re-entry is only a bar away from the bar dropping back below the 100 period simple, right? From the underlying price dropping back below and holding that level as resistance. So I bring this up now because if the market does start to fail and roll over, this could be a setup not only for things like SPX itself, but as well as other symbols out there, right? So it's something to be aware and mindful of as we potentially go through some of these names. Now, Tesla, for example, let's pull this up here. So there are going to be some names like Tesla, for example, and here's a break of the 100 where it never comes back, right? So sometimes you don't get that special retest, but when you do, it's like almost a present from the market, right, to consider going short. Tesla didn't quite have that on this break. And certainly it's in a bit more of a bearish trend, so you do want to be mindful of it. It's not to say you can't take these to the short side, but the aim is to look for things trading near their 100 period simple, but that could give it up. Or like NDX itself, right, or AKA the Qs, this bounce up on CPI technically hasn't quite broken above its 100 period simple, right? It's getting right up to that level. And so the market's going to be at a decision point, whether it never breaks above it and it fails, or it attempts to break but ultimately drops back down, right? This is going to be a battle, if you will. And the question, of course, is going to be whether the bulls or bears win. Either way, personally, I don't care who wins because I know the setups that I'll be watching for. If the bears win and drops the price back down, especially if it's something like this, then I'll know for that possible re-entry to the short side. If we really bounce and start to stair step higher, then this is a setup that I might have to put back in my toolbox and wait for a symbol to actually show it to me in order to jump back in. But it's something that I wanted to point out to you guys because it is starting to pop up in the market itself. And if you go through your scans, it could be starting to appear on other symbols as well. Like for example, Apple is also getting very close to its 100. Arguably, it traded above it not too long ago, sold off. So if this retest here can't even break above the 100, right? If we continue to hold this as resistance, this might be our clue for a re-entry to jump back into a bearish trade. So I hope this helps you out, guys. This is a setup that I've been coming across all year throughout multiple charts and symbols, especially the ones that are a bit more in bearish trends. And if the market itself is going to give up this level once more, which it could, right, and we drop back down, then it's a setup that I want to make sure that y'all are privy to, so that way when you're doing your own scans and chart setups, if you see something like this, right, where that price barely broke above it, failed, retests, and it can't break again, then you know that that's a good place to consider putting some capital to the short side. Once again, don't ever go over your risk, right? It could be a situation like this where it breaks, tries to do it again and then fails a second time, or it could be that it does this and then bounces up, right? So you always want to stay within your risk tolerance. But overall this year, it has been usually a pretty good spot to look for that bearish trend to continue, or at the very least go back down to test technical supports or the lows prior to the run up. So as always, guys, may the trade be with you, my fellow Jedis, and I look forward to talking to y'all next time. Bye.